Greetings, everyone. This is Ronan Mac, doing my first installment for my personal history of gaming. We're starting with Shogun Total War, not because that's necessarily where I started. In fact, it is not where I started. Gaming for me, boy, we would go back to the age of Atari. Uh, Berserk, River Raid, Pitfall, lots of hours there. Working up through Nintendo with the Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda. We'd run through Sega Genesis. Had that while I was serving in the Army. 82nd Airborne Division. We played hundreds of hours of Madden football alone. Good times with good people back in those days. After I left the service, played a lot of Civilization. Really dated. Immersive game. I love Civilization, but after a heartbreaking and end of the world scenario breakup about a decade or more ago, I moved into my own apartment. I had my PC and I got Shogun Total War. I gotta say, Creative Assembly just knocked the ball out of the park with this game. They a lot of innovative, groundbreaking things that they did in this game. Just I spent copious amount of hours playing Shogun. The video cutscenes that they do in the game were just astronomical at the time. They seemed, pretty crappy by today's standards, but I was amazed. And so I would work 10 hours a day, get home, and it would be Shogun till 2 a.m., 3 o'clock in the morning. Just because, for me, gaming is an escape from my personal reality into a virtual reality, whatever it happens to be. Being the ruler, trying to become the shogun of Japan, there's worse things to do in your spare time. So we're breaking into the campaign map. It's basically a Risk board game plus some. You have to, increase your agricultural capacity in all the provinces that you control. The revenue that you gain from that is going to help you build your armies, build your castles, and conquer feudal Japan. So you can see I'm going through each province and investing in a little agricultural improvement to boost my koku. Now the koku, if I am not incorrect, is one koku was enough rice to feed a family for a year. The basis of the wealth in Japan at the time, obviously if you're a daimyo or a feudal lord at the time, you're dealing with hundreds if not thousands of koku at a time to amass your armies and conquer the world, or at least the world as you knew it at the time. I had to go back, reinstall this game, and try to get to running in my ultra modern PC. It was ridiculously small files. You can see that this is an example of the video cutscenes, which were so awesome to me at the time. There's a ninja coming to kill my emissary. Oh, he snuck into the castle, killed my guards. He's gonna bust into the room. But where am I? Oh, my emissary is not a bitch. He smelled you coming, ninja, and your assassination has failed. It's the little things in life that just mean so much. So he failed in his assassination, and I can continue about my business. I'm going to try to get this measly little army up to invade somebody, to give you an example of the gloriously antiquated combat once you get there. But like I said, this game really sucked me in to just strategy gaming in general. It was so immersive. Lots of different factors that you had to control. I'm going to declare war on the red guys. One final check, make sure everybody's as profitable as they can be. Honestly, it was hard for me to get into this game now as much as I was then, because it is so dated. But if you compare this to Nintendo games or Pong games, it was certainly pretty epic for its day. We're going to cut into some combat. Now, this is probably the sole reason I'm so much into the Total War series even today. It's not like a RTS game like you see StarCraft or something nowadays, where you're just building your barracks, and the barracks spawns units perpetually, and you just spamming tanks or whatever and rolling into the enemy, and it's all happening as fast as you can click your little mouse click button. This game was a strategy game. You had to build your empire, produce your units, go into combat, and then once you got into combat, you had what you had, and you had to deal strategically with what you brought with you. So I have my 2 Yari samurai units, 2 samurai archers, and my daimyo. So that's this game was a basically it was a paper rock scissors. So your spearmen beat the horse, your horse beat the archers, your archers beat the spear. Got a little more involved in that, but that was the basic paper rock scissors format of Total War when it started. And that kind of the drag of the game was, once you got into combat, you had to find the army. Sometimes, like in this case, they were hiding in the woods. You had to walk around until you found them. He was in a pretty good defensive position. You can see he's got archers up in the trees. His guys shooting downhill had an advantage. We were shooting uphill into the trees, which naturally provide cover for his units, but you know, that's where they are, that's where you got to attack. Yeah. In this case, we were invading and another faction was invading at the same time, so you can kind of see they're off to the Takeda clan, I think, is off to the left of my units. My Ashiguru samurai are well into melee with the glorious graphical capabilities of Shogun Total War. You can see the background is pixelated. 800, 600 I think is the best resolution that you can get in this game, which is very, very sad by today's standards, but at the time it was pretty incredible. Just having units where I've got 60 guys and it's showing each individual guy at the time seemed just amazing. You can see my Yari got their ass kicked and they're running out. I send my other half of the spear army in to engage in melee with the rest as arrows rain down from above. He sends his remainder Yari spearmen out to engage my daimyo, but my daimyo is surrounded by some hardened samurai warriors and they handily beat them. And they're going to run away, we're going to follow. You can see the little pixelated dead bodies on the computer battlefield as we advance. And it's just, it's hard to track the action, but I don't know for today's audience how I can impress upon you how epic this game was when it came out and when I started playing it, and still is in its newer forms, which we'll get into at a later date. But you can see I'm sending my samurai archers are out of arrows. I'm going to send them in to do some sword work. Now they're adequate melee fighters when they have to be, but certainly outclassed by anything else. But you work with what you got. So Mori Daimyo saw us running in there and he ran like a bitch because my samurais are just too scary. So they're gonna swarm up the hill and chase out the remainders. Now there's no way I would have won this particular battle had the Takeda clan not assisted in the attack. But what can I say? It's been 10 years. I'm out of practice. The controls and the format of this game are virtually alien to me at this point, so I was just trying to get in and get some gameplay footage to share with y'all. So there we have it. We have won victorious. That's the end of the Total War Shogun portion of the history. We'll probably move on to Rome, another game I spent a lot of time with. Good night.